if you have the experience or, if you have the time, you can do it. But do you have the time? Because it is a full-time job.
Once again, this be the realest shit you heard in your life.
Hello, everyone. This is Kris Diaz, and this is the Real-Est show you know. We have the latest episode today, and today we're talking about how real estate agents can deliver value to sellers in a shifting market. This is the Real-Est show you know. As I mentioned, we pull back the curtains on the real estate industry and give you folks an inside look. And we have two great guests today. We have Helen Bonner from New York Realty. Keller Williams, New York Realty in White Plains, New York. And we have Vladimir Ladezma out of EXP, also in White Plains, New York.
Yes, sir.
Welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourselves. Helen, how did you get started in real estate?
Well, I was actually fired from my corporate job.
Okay.
Yes. And then I had to reinvent myself because I was starting a family. My daughter I was pregnant with my daughter. And I wanted to just do something totally different to take ownership of my own life and my time. So I chose real estate. You know,
I've heard that story so many times. Real estate is a second career for so many agents. And it's a phenomenal career. And, I got into the real estate industry also after like 20 years in banking. And I absolutely love it because you're your own boss and you get to grow your own business, promote your brand, and and most importantly, help other people.
Exactly.
Doing so.
It's very fulfilling.
Yep. And Vladimir, how did you get started in real estate?
Kind of similar. I just know I wanted to control my time a little better, and real estate obviously gives you that opportunity. So I was looking for what that was. I was doing retail, and then I started studying a little bit about real estate. Wanted really to become an investor, but didn't have the capital, and started learning and got my license, and then kind of fell in love with the whole process of just the transactions.
Great. Now, the reason we have both of you on the episode is you're phenomenal listing agents.
Thank you.
I know both of you work primarily in the Westchester market. Now, since the beginning of the year, most of the country has shifted from a seller's market to a buyer's market. The Northeast was the last one to kind of shift. But we're seeing it now where mortgage applications are dropping, home sales are dropping. The price point is still up there, but there's a marketing shift. How has your strategy for preparing listings changed now that we're shifting in the market?
Well, Kris, I definitely like to set the expectations early on in the beginning with sellers. To definitely let them know not to focus on the price that their neighbors got six months ago.
Okay. Yep.
But we have to stay ahead of the market because it's changing very quickly right before our eyes. So I definitely study the data and just set those expectations early on.
Right.
Key. Yeah. That's the key.
Yeah.
Our main job here is to guide our clients properly, right? And setting that expectation and letting them know what's realistic and talking with facts.
Exactly.
And I always tell people, I go, we're here to kind of take a little bit of the emotion out of it. Because, right, it's an emotional process for these people that are selling their homes. They raise their families there and so much like that. That for them, their home is worth $1 million.
Okay.
Right? Because it's their home. But I'm there to tell them, hey, yes, you have a beautiful home, but here are the facts for what this neighborhood is doing, what it's selling for, and here's the real expectation I have.
Exactly.
That's a good point, because I was going to ask you, what are some of the signs that shows that the market is shifting toward the buyer's market?
Well, definitely price dropping. Like you'll see that across the board, the price is dropping on most listings. They're sitting longer on the market.
Yes.
Yep.
And open houses, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
We've had
They're
30
back.
people.
2021, you didn't even need to do an open house, right?
You mean people aren't buying houses sight unseen?
Yeah. Sight unseen, no appraisal, no inspection.
Yeah.
Good times. For some.
Great times.
But to your point, that's one of my biggest things that I do now with the comparables, right? Because comparables, people are always going to still say, oh, my kitchen is better, or boo, boo, boo. I'll show them everything and I'll say, but one thing that I really focus on is not only when they sold, how many days on market.
Days on market is huge.
Days on market, because I tell them, hey, here's a true expectation of what to expect. I know you want to have your kid in school in Florida by September, but we're listing now in August. It's really November in a best case scenario. And that's if you let me do my job correctly.
Right. And they have to trust us to do so, right? Because that's so important.
Yeah.
So what are some of the common mistakes that you're seeing sellers are making now? Is it just pricing? Is that what you see that is the issue, that they're maybe pricing it too high because, hey, my neighbor got X amount last year or 2 years ago, and you know what? I've seen prices keep rising. So if they got X amount, I want to do 2X or whatever it is.
Well, pricing is a huge mistake, I would say, overpricing.
Okay.
And also staying ahead of the market, because if they're looking at their neighbors, they may be 6 months to a year behind in price.
Okay.
And we have to stay ahead of the market, and we have to monitor it because, many times, we put the price on, and because the market is changing so quickly, we have to monitor it, right? Because the price may not still be the price, and we have to adjust accordingly and keep that conversation open and be honest about, okay, we were not quite in the ballpark, and we need to bring it down, or we're going to sit.
Got it. And Vladimir, other than price, like what can you do to help get these homes sold quickly and maybe not sitting on the market as long? Well,
aside from price, because we know that is like the biggest deciding factor, but the exposure in the marketing.
Okay.
That's the biggest thing about what I tell my clients, like, hey, I'm going to do the social media marketing. We're going to do the online marketing, but I'm going to keep it old school too. And I'm going to go and door knock your whole neighborhood.
Cool.
I'm going to go and door knock. We're going to do that open house. We're going to do it. We're going to have a 10-day game plan and we're going to execute, right? Where we're going to, coming soon, we're going to do the door knocking. We're going to get boots on the ground. And in 7 days, I'm going to come back to you. And if I don't have already 3 to 4 offers, then we got to sit down and go, hey, I just did a whole game plan and I need to understand why we don't have it. So what are we doing wrong? Do I need to move some pictures around? Do I need to re-edit some of these? Because we do the whole photography, 3D Matterport and all that good jazz. But what do we need to adjust?
So maybe some of that old school approach, right? Where before, like, we know houses aren't being sold sight unseen.
Right.
And, no need to hold an open house, or even the open houses. I remember a couple of years ago where lines were around the block. To get in there and see the house. So getting into that old school approach of, hey, let me door knock your neighborhood.
Oh yeah,
let's really promote it, and let's use some of the tools that are out there,
right?
Whether it be social media or whatnot,
right?
Old school definitely works, and strategic storytelling as well.
Yes,
because buyers want to feel a certain way when they see the property, right? So when they see the property, they want to feel like they can see themselves inside the property, right?
So maybe staging,
definitely,
the home and whatnot,
and putting your best foot forward. Because taking the time to prep, I think if you ask what are one of the mistakes, I think sellers don't take some sellers don't take the time to prep ahead of time and put their best foot forward. So that's where we guide them.
Got it. And now, I don't want to get too much into the NAR settlement, right?
Okay.
That's another episode.
Yeah, let's not.
But as a result, are you guys seeing more for sale by owners or no?
I don't think so.
I don't.
No. I don't think so. I think that for sale by owners, This is the keeper. What is it? The realest show.
The realest show you know.
Yeah. So we're gonna
Speak
talk.
the
We're
truth.
gonna be candid.
Yes.
I think that most for sale by owners are the dreamers, right? They're just unrealistic and
Got it.
right. They're always off. They're usually always off. It's the home that needs the most work, that wants the most money,
Yeah.
Exactly.
selling by itself. I love to call them
Yes.
just to have fun.
Well,
Just to say, hey,
Exactly.
I mean,
how's everything going? I know that you're the smartest person in the world and you can sell your home.
yeah, but you know what? I at the same time, I don't want to. I don't want to criticize them
Oh,
in the sense because
sorry.
well, no. I mean, you definitely bring value in skill with what you're doing. Obviously, you have tons of experience
Right.
doing this, right? But some folks don't have that mindset, right? They just think like,
Why am I going to pay you?
what's a real estate agent? Why I need a real estate
Correct.
agent and stuff like that. So tell me a little bit about what you bring to the table as a real estate agent that maybe a for sale by owner just doesn't get.
Well, I think that they don't know what they're getting into many times. You know, I think a lot of the shows on TV make everything look really sexy,
Yeah.
and they don't understand
Yeah.
the nuances behind what we do and the value that we bring. So, first of all, the safety. There's a safety aspect that you're letting strange people into your home. They're not vetted, right? They don't. How are they going to manage that? You know,
Yes.
they don't know how to manage those expectations. Without a lender like yourself, that's really powerful to see if can they buy the home, or
Right.
they're just saying that they can buy the home, right? So they're not vetting the offers properly. Also the exposure that we can give.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
And those are, you know, because I want to just clarify what I was saying kind of with. The thing is, most of the time, it's they don't want to pay the commissions, right? Let's be realistic. It's like,
Yeah, of course.
I don't want to pay you $15,000.
Listen, everybody's got an uncle who's like, hey, I can fix this.
Yes.
I can.
Yeah,
why am I going to
DIY,
hire a
yeah.
plumber?
DIY.
Why am I going to hire an electrician? I can do this.
And here's the
I
reality.
got YouTube now.
The reality is this.
Yeah.
If you have the experience or, you know, if you have the time, you can do it. But do you have the time because it is a full-time job?
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that people have a disconnect with. And they go, oh,
Yes.
I can do it. And I go, okay, great. I just want to go through some of these things with you. Do you have time to be answering the phone all day?
Exactly.
Do you have time to set these appointments, right? Do you have time to call these lenders? Like, Mr. Seller, who are you going to have come through the door? Oh, I have 10 people that are interested. How many of them are qualified? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Do they have a pre-approval?
Or even being able to read the pre-approval
Yes.
and kind of understand
Exactly.
what to ask for.
and just say, hey, look, this is a pre-approval from,
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah, you could say one of the online guys.
One of these lenders that have a call center out in Michigan somewhere, and right,
Yeah.
who don't really know, who never really verified credit, income, assets.
Yeah.
You know, ran it through AUS, make
Correct.
sure like it's a real deal. And not one of these retail commercial banks that have a revolving door and just say, yeah, pre-approval, there. We're going to throw everything against the wall, see what sticks.
Right.
Okay.
The FSBOs that have mainly come back to me.
Uh-huh.
Because I go on the FSBOs appointments, right?
So that's great because that's one of my next questions.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Tell me about the
FSBOs that
FSBOs.
do come back to me, right? I like to think that my approach is just an honesty approach. Like I said, we're here for guidance.
Uh-huh.
We're here to give information.
Yeah.
And I already know that when a person sees me, they see a salesman. And the reality is I want to sit with you and I want to tell you what the pros and cons are for you. If it makes sense for you to sell, if it doesn't make sense for you to sell, tell them everything, right?
Yeah.
And with the FSBOs, the ones that have come back, it's been because they're like, you know what? You came and sat with us. You took the time. You didn't pull out the sheet of paper saying, hey, sign here. You know, I could sell it for this much. I said, what are you guys are going to do? What is your time frame? And I'll say, hey, you know, because they always have offers, right? I got an offer on the table.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. If that offer falls through because it doesn't go through correct, because of A, B, C, and D, and I give them the 4 or 5 reasons why it could go left.
Mm-hmm.
When it goes left for A, B, C, and D, then they know, oh, this guy knows his stuff.
Yeah.
The deal fell through. That's usually when they come back, right? Vlad, you were right.
Yeah.
They weren't really qualified.
Because even with the offers, what they forget, the negotiation part of it.
Yes.
That's the most important part.
The terms.
And then they don't have, we do this every day.
Listen, I've come across many master negotiators.
Yes.
who's like, oh, nobody negotiates like me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you mentioned, they look at you as a salesman as if that was a bad thing. That's a good thing. That's your job.
Right.
Is to sell their home. Right?
But it seems with a negative context.
You're not a used car salesman, right? You're not trying to sell them, everything under the sun and like, look, you need this extended warranty. You need this, and this. You're working for them and you're trying to put their home in the best light, right? And you're trying to connect them with the best business partners of yours or referrals of yours that can do a good job. You're looking to connect them with the right home inspector, right? Who knows what they're looking for and is going to give them good advice. You're looking to connect them with the best attorney who's going to give them the best legal advice, right? And it's funny because I think like so many for sale by owners don't take that into consideration, right? It's like, okay, great. You got an offer. Okay. And you have your attorney, representing you, but, like, I don't know. Can you, how confident are you that the other side isn't taking advantage of you? Right? Because they will have an agent representing them,
right,
and advising them, and they're going up. They have a whole team going up against you as an individual.
And I don't think most people realize it takes a team.
Yeah.
Right. So you're hiring a whole entire team to get your home sold effectively.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So we just talked about like the shift in the market where buyers they're gaining a leverage a little bit, right?
It's coming back.
It's coming back where they have more options.
I would say almost it's an even playing field right now. I feel like now it's finally back, right? Sellers have had it in the headline. Sellers have had this game in the headline for a little while now.
Yes.
Listen,
and now we're getting to a balance for sure.
You and I have done many deals together, and remember how difficult it was to get an FHA offer approved?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm like, these are well-qualified borrowers. The government is giving them a guaranteed on their mortgage. And they're like, nah, we got 10 other offers and these are conventional, and somehow conventional is going to be better than.
And 20% down.
20% down. And we're going to pass on this FHA offer.
Which is terrible because there was a stigma behind FHA, which I don't know where it came from, but FHA deals work.
And guess what? Now they are getting accepted. And now everybody's like, oh, well, wait, no, we'll take that offer. And that's where you feel that balance now.
Well, that was going to be my next point is now, I don't know about you folks, but my last several deals have been non-QM deals where they're self-employed and they're not even conventional. They're not FHA, VA, USDA. And these are borrowers that are qualified through other means. Like, I know we can get this deal done.
Yep.
But, they're not conventional. They're not FHA and things like that.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing a little bit more of that market shift too, where sellers are more welcome to hearing other types of offers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's why I said it takes a whole entire team and a team that's willing to think out of the box and be creative. Because without your financing, you don't have a deal.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And you have to have a team that's willing to think out of the box.
Yeah.
It can keep a deal together, put a deal together, and then keep it together.
Correct.
Because everything is so unprecedented nowadays.
Yeah.
And things
Our
that
job
happen.
on the seller side is to protect the seller from wasting time on the wrong deal.
Or
Right?
you don't want to accept an offer and take your house off the market or whatever it is. Not even if you don't take your house off of the market, you're kind of not listening to other offers and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, and you lost time.
And you lost time.
Right? And the thing is, now it goes back on the market. It's seen in a different light now. And it's not a new house on the market. It's like,
They're like,
wait,
wrong with
what's wrong with this house?
Yep.
What's wrong with
What's
this?
wrong with
Why
this
did
house?
that last deal fall apart?
Exactly.
It must be something wrong with that house.
Exactly.
Correct. And a lot of times it's like, hey, no, we got too excited about getting the number we wanted.
Yeah.
And we didn't qualify this deal thoroughly enough. You know, and I think the experience of both being a buyer's agent and a seller's agent, but also being able to speak, hey, all right, we're going to accept this deal, knowing the terms on the deal. Great.
Right.
That price looks great. Let's talk
That's a
terms.
great point.
Let's get this proper, because when we go to contract, I want this to be signed, sealed, and delivered. Like, we want this done.
No, I think that's an excellent point, because most people get stuck on the price and they don't look at the terms. And sometimes the terms are much more important than the price.
Especially in this
right?
market.
In this market. Exactly.
Especially in this market.
Yep.
Yeah.
How does your experience with pricing strategy help sellers? Price, like, you know, we talked about, like, for sale by owners, they kind of look at, oh, well, my neighbor got this price, so I want to get a little higher and whatnot. How does your experience help them price that home properly?
Well, I think by studying the data and staying ahead of the market, because like I said, this market is very different. It's changing. It's not like any market that we've had before. It helps them to sell it and not have it sit and get stale. And I think that's what's the most important.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and appraisers are kind of looking at the same information, right?
Yeah.
So they're looking at comparables as well. They look at recently sold homes in the area that are kind of similar in size, and, you know.
Well, a lot of times you get unicorns, right? Like there are no real comps in the area. So you have to be creative. You have to look at the pendings. You have to look at, you know, you have to take it back further.
Yeah, go out a year, go out an extra mile. Yeah, which is exactly what the appraiser has to do as well.
Exactly.
And even that, sometimes people are like, hey, what do you mean? I saw that in my town, this house sold for this much. Yeah, but that's on the other side of town.
Exactly.
That's not your comparable.
And we also have to take into consideration the way the prices have been, you know, elevated. Like with the 150 over asking, you know, during the pandemic time. So yeah.
And the change in rates.
And the rates.
The change in rates, which have changed. That's kind of like,
well, I mean,
what changed the game a bit, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the rates have been there in the last couple of years, kind of. But yeah, people looking at, you know, pandemic era rates, which, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm going to take a quick break because I want to do a quick commercial.
Okay.
So, do you have equity in your home and need immediate access to capital? We now offer a digital home equity line of credit product that allows you to close on the home equity loan and get immediate access to capital in days, not weeks. So if you're interested, please reach out. Thanks. Now back to the show. So great. So we talked about pricing. What other ways can you help in terms of professional staging, photography, you know, and whatnot to attract serious buyers? What are some of the things that you can offer that maybe, you know, these for sale by owners, right? They're looking to do it, I don't want to say on the cheap, right? But, you know, obviously they're looking to save money wherever they can.
Yeah.
So are they losing out on the net amount that they can get because maybe they're not professionally staging their homes, they're not getting professional pictures done?
But I think, a lot of for sale by owners think that they're getting a discount, but they don't realize that, that their statistics that show realtors get them more money when you work with a realtor than they can get on their own.
Yeah, net.
Exactly.
After, and some folks like to call it a commission. Some folks like to call it a professional fee, whatever it is, right? Their net amount can be so much higher sometimes if they work with a professional. So what are some of the things that you've done to help professionally stage a home or, or photography or whatnot?
See, I think also when you're so close to it, and because it's your home, you can't be objective. But when we come in, we can be objective and look at it through the buyer's eyes because we work on both sides, right? We know what the buyers say when they walk into a home, and then we've worked with sellers, so we know both sides. They only know their home.
Yeah.
Right? So we can come in and say, it's doesn't have the most attractive smell in the home, or you really need to put up a fresh coat of paint.
Yes.
We need to move away some of the, clear away some of the clutter.
So you're giving an objective view.
Very much so.
Right.
So they can position themselves in the best light.
Cool.
Yeah, and to be fair, right, it's not only sellers and FSBOs. I think it's important to say it's a standard of realtor, right? Because not everyone that has their license is doing the right thing, right? I mean, we've all gone on the MLS and seen the cat in the bathroom in the picture.
Oh, listen.
And gone, what was this person?
Somebody pulled out their cell phone.
Is this the MLS or is this Facebook? I'm lost right now.
They pull out their cell phone and they're taking pictures.
That's every industry, right? We can say that. It's a standard.
There's a reason why there's some bad stigma, and I can understand that. And I think that's the difference when we go sit with a seller and say, hey, this is what I offer you. Here's the professionalism and the standard that I offer you. You can go look at my listings and go see these photos and go see how I did this Matterport. And that's not free, right? I'm invested in your property.
Exactly.
I'm invested. And not only, and like you said, though, walking in and having to be able to say, hey, you want the most money, right? So you're okay with me being candid with you. I'm not going to hurt your feelings, right? I'm going to give you my professional opinion.
Professional opinion.
Let's clear out this kitchen.
Yeah.
Clear out a few things in here. Yeah. Let's put it in
a little
fresh
less
coat of
clutter.
Paint. Yeah. Absolutely. Yep. Let's stage this for these photos. The photos coming in 4 days. And I always get that, right? When you take the pictures, and I don't like to do the digital stuff too much on the photos because I also don't want to catfish the buyers, right? Because there's no point in that. If they walk in and it doesn't look like what it is, well, you did your job of getting them there, but now they have a bad taste in their mouth because it's not what they saw.
Yeah.
So I always tell people, I go, it's going to be professional photos, but it's going to be your house. And I think that just, again, honesty, just the expectation and showing the standard.
And I think it's support also because a lot of people are in transition, they have trauma and they need that professional support or that extra person to help them navigate through.
Also, they might be just focused on wherever they're moving to.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, can you give me an example of how your negotiation skills really impacted a seller or, where it netted them a better deal than they could have secured, let's say, if they try to sell the house on their own?
Sure. By selling a home that's wasn't going to sell, I was their second agent. And they were just priced completely incorrectly and completely unrealistic. And I sat them down, and again, it's really finding out, why are we selling? So that's really, I sat down with him and he's very upset, emotional, passionate. This person didn't do their job. They kind of came in and just flicked up some pictures. They threw it up there. I told them whatever price. They put it for the price I said. Yeah. And I go, did they have a true, how was the conversation on the pricing? I like to ask these, hey, how did it go? So tell me the conversation with this last agent on the pricing. Let's start there. And they're like, nothing. I told her what I wanted to sell for and put it up for that price.
That's it.
And I go, this is going to be a different conversation. Right?
Well, what's funny is I see so many agents who kind of use that same strategy. It's like they went tons of listings
Yeah.
because
They
they're
yes
like,
him to death.
they yes them to death. Oh,
Yeah.
$1 million? Done. We're going to
Yeah.
list it for $1 million. And it sits
And it's
there,
sitting there.
and it sits there, and then they're like, "Well, I won the listing. Okay, well now let's
Start
have a real conversation afterwards."
Right.
They're scared to have that conversation initially because, let's face it, most people like to hear what they want to hear.
Exactly. So like for that seller and how I got them the most money, I'm very transparent. I told them, hey, listen, I'm going to invest in your house.
Mm-hmm.
I can't invest $1,000, $1,500, whatever I'm about to put into this marketing
Mm-hmm.
and have this price where you got it.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason that they could is because they came in here with their camera and just put it up the next day.
Yeah.
That's not what's going to happen right now. So here's the price it should be at. And of course you get kickback and, and it's like, sometimes you got to compromise. All right, if you want to start 25 over, maybe I can do 25 over, but you want me to be 75 over?
Yeah.
I'm not
It's
even
not gonna-
listing it.
no,
We'll talk in 6 months.
Yeah.
You know?
Or, whatever. You want to price it here, that's fine. We'll give it a week.
A week or 2 weeks.
A
That's
week.
it.
And have a backup plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if we don't see much, movement on this house,
Yeah.
let's revisit this conversation.
And that's exactly what happened with the sale
Yeah.
that we're talking about. They finally took me 3 months actually to get them to the price that I said.
Good.
But the moment it got to the price that I said, we had multiple offers.
There you go.
Right? And guess where
Wait a second. You trying to tell me you knew what you were talking about?
Can you believe that?
What the hell?
And guess where we got it back up to?
Woo!
Right where they wanted.
Where they
Oh my
wanted to.
And you go,
goodness.
if you would have just let me do my job from day one, we would have been here. But,
But I
that's-
think
yeah.
that's great that you were able to do that. But if they didn't listen, they don't realize what they could have lost.
Yes.
Not only you wouldn't have
Yes.
taken the listing, but if they didn't listen to you and go along with the strategy,
Right.
they would have lost in the
Mhm.
time that they were sitting,
Yeah.
in the time that it was on the market, and the offers.
Well, it was
Yeah.
a while. It was still 3
Yeah.
months, right?
Yeah.
But it's the professional massaging of don't worry, we got time here.
Exactly.
Let me explain this to you again on next Monday.
I love that, the professional side.
There you go. There you go. So we know real estate transactions can be legally complex. How do you help protect sellers from potential liability?
Okay, well, again, I said
Which I'm sorry to interrupt,
Sure.
but that's another skill that or value that you're delivering to a seller, right?
resources.
Yeah.
Team. That's why I always
Team.
say
Yeah.
it takes a team. I like to surround myself with the best people. That's why I'm here.
Mhm.
Love it.
And it is true because you need your legal team, your attorney. That is so important and key
Mhm.
in getting the deal done. So you have to only have the best around you.
Yeah. What about the buyer disclosure form?
Oh.
The
Buyer disclosure form.
Yeah, where
Exactly.
most
Yes.
most sellers are unaware of it. They're like, you mean I had to give them a disclosure of what I know might be wrong with the property?
Oh, right,
Oh,
right,
the
right.
way
right.
it's changed. The
yeah,
property-
the property condition.
disclosure.
Property
Property
condition disclosure.
disclosure,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and that's just straightforward. You got to tell them, put it out here.
Mhm.
We are already pricing based on what your home is worth.
Mhm.
So it's fine. Say what it is.
Yeah.
And again, we negotiate. That's what we're here to do anyway. So
Yeah.
we're already starting from that standard.
Exactly.
What are the biggest surprises that come up in a transaction, and how do you guide clients through them smoothly? I'm sure
Every
both
day.
of
So
you
many
have
surprises.
stories and
Every day.
stories. You got
Biggest-
share a couple of your war stories, if you can.
Couple war stories of surprises that have come up.
Yeah, during transactions and how you.
The one that I hate right now that I've dealt with this year,
Yeah.
solar panels.
Oh, especially if they're leased.
Solar panels are a problem right now.
Yeah. I've heard
Solar
it so
panels.
many.
Well, you deal with it too, right? 'Cause,
Yeah,
right?
I'm like, if they're leased as opposed to they own it outright, yeah, it's
Right.
tough.
Most things have solutions. I always tell people, open violation, that's time. We could fix that. That's a little time, little money. We can escrow some money. Once you're experienced, something that for me used to be a big deal 5 years ago is now all right, we got to wait an extra 30 days. It's okay. here's the solution to navigate through that. But then there's other ones like solar panels where it's like, it's leased for 20 years. If you can't get the loan for it, this is dead. There's nothing we can do.
Not only that, but, can you transfer over the lease to the buyer?
Right.
Like, does the buyer now qualify? Is it going to be different terms?
Yeah.
Is it going to be, are they prepared for, now?
Are you ready to make a large payment of $25,000 to get the price to where it needs to be?
Yeah.
So that's one of those ones you can't come back from, which is, but.
What about you, Helen? You have a war story to share?
Well, one of the biggest surprises I had during a transaction was the seller to just stop paying the mortgage. As we were in transaction and we almost went to foreclosure right before closing. So having to save that deal.
Yeah.
And then getting them into a new property. I think that was some of my best work.
Now they ruined their credit. After they ruined their credit.
That's happened to me a couple times. Yes. So that was a doozy.
Yeah, and I'm sure there might be title issues.
It was every issue that you can imagine. Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah. So why don't you share with the audience how they can reach out to you if they want to connect with you, learn a little bit more with you, or work with you in the future? Yeah,
absolutely. So I would say best place is probably Instagram or Facebook, Vladimir Ladezma Realtor. And that's my at Vladimir Ladezma Realtor.
Cool.
You can find me on there. I got content on there. I got the podcast also on there.
Tell me a little bit about the podcast.
So the podcast is more mindset, even more than real estate.
All right.
I definitely do have real estate episodes on there, but it's mainly mindset for professionals, kind of like us, or people that are trying to achieve certain things. So it's something very cool to check out. But what's the constant on definitely the Vladimir Ladezma Realtor Instagram page is just showing what I'm doing on the day to day.
Good.
Kind of, how this business really runs. I try to give some insight to that too.
Well, listen, I've worked with you on many transactions in the past, and I look forward to working with you in the future.
Appreciate it.
And Helen, how can the audience connect with you?
Well, they can connect with me. So it's Helen Bonner, and it's Helen spelled HELYNN.
Two N's.
Two N's, a Y and two N's. And I'm on IG at Homes by Helen. And I'm with Keller Williams New York Realty. And whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in property or start a new career in real estate, I'm here to help.
Excellent. Now, I know you're focused primarily in Westchester County, New York, right?
Yes.
And I know you're all over the place, right?
Yeah, we run around a little bit.
I know you're up in Orange County, Dutchess, Westchester.
Yeah, I really have been focusing in on Westchester because it's where I live. It's where I'm at.
Got it.
But of course, because I'm from this area, lived here for so long, I still have a lot of referral base. And so I work everywhere.
We got a lot of things in common, you and I. We're Dominican. We're from Yonkers. Well, I'm from Yonkers. You live there now.
Yeah. I lived there before too, though.
All right, cool. Well, thank you very much for watching the latest episode of The Realest Show You Know. Please like and subscribe, and please share this video with as many people as you can. Thanks, and have a great day.
Thank you.
Once again, this be the realest shit you heard in your life.